All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay, and today we go over a few reasons why I think you probably should consider buying the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip3 if you're a person who's on the traditional style. Like if you have the bar style phone, you should probably start to look towards, because you're going to be spending about the same amount of money, and I'll go ahead and talk about price first, but you really should start to consider switching over to a foldable device because it'll be an easy transition for you. And the reason the Z Flip 3 is that way because it holds the position of a traditional bar style phone, but then it actually folds in half. And so that is probably got to be one of the top reasons why I would tell you, because of the form factor. You'll be used to it quickly, more than likely. But price. So the Z Flip 3 cost about $9.99 or $10.50, depending on the memory option that you choose. And based on today's market, that is actually fantastic considering. And this is a Samsung device, so all you people out there who have the Galaxy S20 or the S21 on down, you might want to consider this because you can now trade in an S21 Ultra and get $700 on Samsung's website. And I believe it's like that at Best Buy and some other retailers as well. I'll leave links down below so you can grab this if you decide you want to do it. But there's promos everywhere right now because of trade-in values. They're just going to take all these other devices back and give you pretty much almost what you paid for, which is, if you're going to trade, you have to do it during this time frame where they're offering the most money. And price is probably one of the top factors, I would say, for you to think about because of what you paid for your previous device. So especially if you have a Samsung device, you're getting the same software and everything's going to be just like this, but you just get to fold it away. You get the later technology, and I think you'll really enjoy that. It's hard to get people to understand that foldables are probably going to be the norm for going way into the future. Everything will probably be folding away because people want compact size, but then when they want to store it away, but then when you want to use it, you want that big full screen body and phone and display, and you can get that with the Z Flip 3. So the price, get that right out of the way. It is priced the same as current flagships. And I think you'll be okay with the pricing on here. I don't think you should have a problem with the price on the Z Flip 3. Now, the next thing on my list is performance. So you're getting the Snapdragon 888, which is one of the latest processors out, and it also has 8 gigs of RAM. So to the average consumer listening to this, you don't really have to worry about the internals. We got your back. I wouldn't recommend something that's going to perform poorly based on today's standards, because I know you guys are into social media. You like to take photos. You like to do all these things. And why not have something that's going to be powerful enough to power you for several years to come? Now, this isn't to sway you from using your S21 or your S20. If you like your device, definitely don't buy anything right now. But depending on how much you pay for your device, you might be able to trade in and just get it even swap or get the device for free, depending on what carrier you're on, if you do carriers or not. I normally buy unlocked, but even unlocked has some great trade-in values if you use another Samsung device to give back to Samsung. So depending on your situation, that's who I'm talking to. If you're considering, you're thinking about foldables, you're on the fence, and you keep seeing all these commercials and infomercials about the Z Flip 3, I'm a reviewer and a tech enthusiast, but I'm still a regular consumer, and this is one of my daily devices, and it is absolutely in rotation daily, and I plan on leaving it that way for I don't know how long to come. Maybe until the next version comes out, and maybe I'll swap this one out for that one. I don't know yet, but performance, you'll be able to get everything done and then some, because with the performance on this device, and I hate to get ahead, but it just, there's positions that you can do on this device to give you that next level of performance. Multitasking is going to be much better. You've got the side menu now where you can add any application. You can watch a video on the top. You can text message on the bottom. There's just so many things about this performance on this device that takes it to that next level. And so I guess I'll go ahead and talk about hardware because it is a foldable device, so it folds in half. And then you have this cover display. While right now you can't really interact with it too much, you have to use Bixby in order to use that to reply to things. But I'm hoping that with a software update that Samsung pushes forward and gives us a way to reply, quick reply from the front screen. Because the front screen, now to be clear, there are some hacks out there. Avoid these because you have to give up a lot of security and privacy in order to install them, when you can just wait on official releases from Samsung or just use voice. And voice activation is something that we all use nowadays at some point or another. I have a smart home and I can pretty much control everything with my voice or just by touching something and accessing a full security system. So The hardware on here, you get a front cover, which is really nice. You get a dual camera setup, upgraded from the previous generations. They're saying they're the same, but I use them, and I think these cameras are better than a lot of cameras that I have on other devices that are in my catalog. That's just my personal opinion on that. I've got camera reviews up, so you can check those out too. Or just look at the full review or the initial review of this, and you'll see a lot of camera footage in there. But you do have a stereo speaker setup. You've got Type-C. You've got several noise-canceling microphones on here. You've got a fingerprint reader on the side, which is nice because it's integrated with the power button. And that'll help you with getting into the device. You also have facial recognition and things like that, but it is still just a lot going on here for the hardware. And to be able to fold it away is what I'm trying to get across to people who are on the fence about switching to a foldable device. Now, one of the main things that you probably said, well, Jay, you didn't mention it, it's an IP rating. This phone now has an IP rating, and that was something that foldable devices just didn't have. And just over 3 generations, if you think about it, over 3 generations of making foldable devices from Samsung, on the 3rd generation, which is this generation, they now have an IP rating. So keep that in mind when it comes to your devices. If you're a person who occasionally gets their phone wet, you have an IP rating now. So your hardware is pretty much covered in any area. Now, the display on this device is a 6.7-inch AMOLED display. So this is a Samsung display. So it is going to be absolutely fantastic. You shouldn't have any quarrels with watching this, but more importantly, you can sit it into this form factor right here and put a movie on the top or a YouTube video of your favorite YouTuber, Jay Will, on the top, and then text message your mom or email your mom or someone on the bottom, or just look at web browsing on the bottom portion. The display itself, though, is 120 hertz if you want to turn that on, or you can go with 60 hertz if you feel like you don't really see the difference. But I personally feel like Samsung makes the best displays, and one of the best. And I just know that when you look at this, especially if you're a Samsung person, you're not missing out on anything by switching to a foldable device. You're not. It's great. So another option that I think I want to tell you about this device is the cameras. So the cameras on here they far exceeded my expectation. And I'll tell you a true story real briefly, and it's very fast. I actually shot this particular video with this phone initially. I shot it, I uploaded it, and I thought, maybe I'll show the device more. I could have done B-roll. I could have done everything from this phone, but you can't do B-roll of the phone. But I do, actually, yeah, we've got 2 of these. She's got one and I got one, so I guess I could have. But I initially shot the video with this device because it has that ability to use the cover display as a viewfinder. So when you open up the device, you can see there's a cover display right there. It's on. You can turn it on to see what we see. So you can see there's my camera. It's just so nice to be able to use these cameras because they have a director's view, they have pro video, it has everything. And so I decided, you know what, I'll save that for another, like a full camera review of this device. But folks, I gotta tell you, I am super excited about having this phone. I had the 1st generation, and I didn't have the 2nd generation. I think that's why I'm so much happier about it than some others that have all the generations. The 1st generation was cool, but it was very expensive. I paid $1,500 for that device. The 2nd generation was about 12 to 13, and then this one is 1,000. And so, and also it has the best hardware. They didn't change the 1st generation and 2nd generation at all, really. This one has a boxier hardware, and it just feels very nice. It's a phone it's your S21, your Note, your S20, your Samsung phone is now folding away into a compact size. So I could go on and on about how great this phone is, but let me tell you one thing about this phone that I think is stomping people, and it is the battery size. Now, I've got now some consumers don't really focus on battery like tech enthusiasts do, but I've got a battery, kind of a quick 5-minute battery tutorial up on the channel, so check that out if you want to see what I did. But ultimately, I went into my Google services, and I'll just tell you here, because honestly, the battery is probably one of the weaker points of this, but I go 2 days now, so don't let that deter you. You can do a small little change that I did and you will definitely, depending on who you are, you can get 2 days out of this. If I'm getting 2 days, I have 4 emails syncing to this. And what I did was I went into my Google services and I turned off anything that wasn't really something that I needed to sync to my phone. I'm heavy in the Google system, so I have Google TV, I have Google speakers everywhere, I have everything. And sometimes your phone will sync some of these things in your account. So you can go into manage your email account and go into your settings and account and then manage and then click on the email that you want to manage. And then when you go in there, uncheck anything that's not something you need to sync to your phone. It's just that simple. So I was looking for my coffee. Time to end this video. So that's all that I did. And now I'm pushing easily almost 2 days on every charge. So that is what you want. So battery life, some people might be deterred by that. You might hear some creators saying that the battery life is poor, but I'm here to tell you that the battery life is not the best, but I'm offering you a resolution and giving you a reason why you probably should consider it anyway. Making a small change like that, I still have my Gmail syncing. I just turned off all those other things like Google TV, People, and just, you'll see. But this phone is fantastic. I will be giving you more coverage on the Z Fold3. Remember, I bought that one too, but there's something going on there. I've kind of been saving that. So that's why you haven't seen any coverage on the Z Fold3. But I'm excited. And I think you'll be excited if you decide to pick up the Z Flip3. And I'm going to go ahead and recommend this over the Z Fold3 for those reasons alone. It's way more manageable in real world. This is way more manageable than the Z Fold3. You'll see comments about the Z Fold3 from people who are loyal to the Z Fold3. Respect. I'm not loyal to either one of these phones. I like them both, but this is just an easier daily driver. And for the people out there who are trying to convert from a slab style phone, this video is for you. Hopefully I covered some things you wanted to hear. And if I didn't, leave a comment down below and I'll try to address it. And all the people in the community, let's address it together. It's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next one. Take care.